गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपीजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन यमुनतिरवनचारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radhe Radha Vrindavan Chandra Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Srinivas Venkateshwar Balaji ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Srila Prabhupada ki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuvanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. I remember coming for a similar meeting somewhere up, I believe. Is it a similar meeting? Correct? Very happy to be with all of you today. I am not going to show you any PowerPoint, but I'm going to type it there so that you'll be able to see. what we are typing. Okay, it's coming. Okay. So there is one famous verse in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 12th chapter. See, this is a verse. Just 12.15. Yes, Prabhu. That'll be nice. Hey, it keeps going up. What happened? Okay. Please all of you repeat this. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yasmano dvijate loko. Lokano dvijate chayaha. Harshamarshavayodd vegair. Mukto yasachame priyaha. Read what is can recite, please. Oh, it's not coming? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yasmano dvijate loko. Lokano dvijate chayaha. Harshamarshavayodd vegair. Mukto yasachame priyaha. Yasmano dvijate loko. Lokano dvijate chayaha. Harshamarshavayodd vegair. Mukto yasachame priyaha. Mataji? Yasmano dvijate loko. Lokano dvijate chayaha. Harshamarshavayodd vegair. Mukto yasachame priyaha. Okay. Please repeat to the translation. Respond. He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. So I'm going to list some of the behaviors of one who is, if you cultivate these behaviors, we can be equipoised and we will be able to do something wonderful for this world then. So two things are mentioned here. Okay, first we'll finish this, then I'll add more. Huh? When we all observe the world around us and observe ourselves, uh, we find some of these behaviors. Uh, of course, the right behavior should be continued, and wrong behavior should be changed. Therefore, I gave the title habit change. I gave. For example, uh, when uh, when when I trouble others, I am aggressive. I have said, which means I am not assertive. We all make a demand of others around us, right now. Mm. And that can be aggressive demand, which is what begins an episode of trouble for the living entities. You will see, for example, Suruchi had a unreasonable desire. Mm. Who was senior, Suniti or Suruchi? Suniti was elder, Suruchi was younger. So Suruchi had thought that who is going to be the next king after Uttanapa? Dhruva. But she thought that I have one extra advantage of being more beautiful than Suniti. And the king is in my pocket. I can control him, she thought. So, using my charm, I will keep him in my control and I'll make my son the king. Was it a reasonable desire or a aggressive desire? Aggressive desire. So, nowadays, many people even argue what's wrong if we are ambitious, and by our ambition, if others are troubled a little bit, what can be done? After all, in this world, it's a part of life. People speak like that. Actually, therefore, especially in Grihastha Ashrama, we have to have a very correct understanding of what is satisfaction and what is ambition. Uh, Satisfaction, actually, satisfaction appears to be like a derogatory word. Uh, It makes you, it gives a connotation of, as if you are a not growing person, or as if you are dull, as if you are not progressive, as if you are unnoticed by anybody, you can't draw anyone's attention. It looks like that when you talk about satisfaction. On the other hand, ambition makes one look like I met one couple, husband and wife. So while talking to them, I asked, Prabhuji, where are you working? And he said, where he was working. And I asked Mataji, Mataji, are you working or you are a homemaker? I asked. Huh? Because I heard from somebody that homemaker is a good word. Instead of saying, are you a housewife? Housewife makes you look like a passive person, not doing anything. Homemaker looks like, you are also making something, like that. But still, she was feeling a little bad. She said, no, although I am at home, I am also doing some 4 hours of work, working for a company. And I am also an earning member of the family, she said. I said, that is nice. Uh, but because you are available at home for your children, you are a loving mother, available for your children when they come back from the school, and you are also available for your husband when he comes home, and you are taking care of the home. That itself makes you glorious, I told her. That itself makes you a very great woman. Mm. So, actually, we are living in a day and age when everybody's heart is burning with greed. In the name of growing, they are actually burning, many people. So, therefore, what is satisfaction? You will see that uh, in the Vedic times, people are living in small villages and they were not so much connected to the other places. So there was no much unhealthy comparisons. Like I was in Adilabad some months ago. They were telling me that there is a kind of understanding in India that if I am in Adilabad village, there's a Dharmabad, which is just 1 hour from there. People marry like that only. They give their girl to a boy just a little away like that. They give maybe 1 or 2 hours away, so the sambandhis can have good contact. Coming going will be easy. They give like that, and and also they all can be like united and everything like that. But now it's no more the situation. Now world has, changed quite a bit. Now we are a global village. Now the whole world is connected now. So the unhealthy comparisons have tremendously increased now. Everybody is comparing their son and daughter with somebody. Everybody is comparing the salary package with somebody. And people are ready to burn themselves to become like somebody. So we as Krishna conscious devotees should know that, Prabhupada says material destiny is almost fixed and we cannot change it appreciably. Uh, I don't mean to say you cannot change it. You can change it, but not appreciably means what? Little bit you can change. For example, Maruti, the economic speed is 80 kilometer per hour. But you can go at 100 or sometimes even 120 also. If you go at 120 kilometer per hour regularly, it will burn out very soon. You have to just throw it in scrap after a few years. But 80 is the economic speed where your peak performance of the vehicle. But foolish person will drive it at 120 continuously. He will burn out. So in the same manner, if you take a Benz car, for example, or Lamborghini car, any other car like that, they all have different speeds, which are economic speeds. You will see that. Similarly, in this world, there are people more handsome than us. There are people more uglier than us. There are people more intelligent than us. Some are less intelligent than us. Some people are more richer than us. So the Vedic life teaches us acceptance. I have done some punya papa in the past life, due to which I am rigidly put in a certain family with certain set of ABCD conditions. And I should live in those conditions, accepting it as whose grace? God's grace. And that doesn't mean I am without ambition. We can certainly have some ambition that I want to do in life, but it is not a unachievable ambition. We can have some aspiration, ambition. Like for example, somebody is getting second class, he can try for first class also. You can try. But if somebody is going to have over ambition, and that's what we call as unreasonable greed, we call it. So therefore, you will find now Kaikeyi wants to make her son the king. Is her son the eldest son? No, Rama is the eldest son. She want to make him the king. Now Suruchi want to make her son the king. And that's where the problems. You will find every scripture you find, things start when we trouble others. That's where everything starts. Suruchi started troubling. There Kaikeyi started troubling. You will see that. Duryodhana started troubling the Pandavas. You will see that. So, okay, so and so trouble, so and so, I'm telling you. So we all can tell ourselves that I will not trouble anybody. Why? In this creation of the Lord, I don't want to be a contributor to the trouble. Therefore, I will not trouble others. Somebody may say, what, Prabhuji, you one person may not trouble, but so many others are troubling, 99% people are troubling. Okay, let them contribute to the trouble in this world. But I will not contribute to trouble. Every one of us, if you think like that, that means you are in the direction of becoming a good leader. So, therefore, if you are passive, you will be eaten up inside. If you are aggressive, you will hurt others. So assertive actually means you take your rights and you, like that's what Krishna told the Pandavas, that you actually deserve to fight this battle and take the kingdom. You deserve to rule. You are ready to survive even with 5 villages. This fellow is not even giving that much. So therefore, on the order of Krishna, they fought the battle. So assertive is actually taking, it's called as live and let live. And that is assertive. Live and let live. Hindi, what do you call it? Jio Jenedo. So it's a reasonable thing. So those who are unreasonable, they will not agree for that. So therefore, at least we should not be unreasonable in the demands we make. So we all can observe our own heart and ask, when did I make unreasonable demand? So then we need to change. Because when we make unreasonable demands within our own mind, for example, there is a good counselor, and the counselor is attracting 60, 80 counselees, and everybody is all the time glorifying their counselor. Such a wonderful counselor. Another counselor has only about 15, 15 or 16, and that also is not very sure. Some of them are planning to move out. So then this counselor may look at that flourishing counselor. One is like a flourishing tree, another one is like a little not so flourishing tree. So then there is a likelihood that not so flourishing group may criticize the flourishing group sometimes. That's a possibility. And this can happen everywhere. Weak book distributor, strong book distributor, weak preacher, powerful preacher. Isn't it? Yeah. In the same manner. So we find that we make comparisons with people in the same field. Like for example, one of you may be very accomplished in giving a very nice impact program. Impact program is first program. Every 5 minutes you get a clap. Every 10 minutes. You've seen some people like that? Correct, no? On the other hand, somebody may not be so impactful if you put them in impact program. But they may be more good for giving a program for cultivating devotees. So, therefore it is said it requires charisma to attract people, it requires character to hold people. It is said. So, then somebody is good in holding people for a long time, cultivating the people. Some people may be able to give very good programs, but they cannot counsel well. They can never counsel people, but they can give preaching, they can do. So, some people can only teaching. For example, Bhakti Shastri you can teach, you don't have to preach. And just study the books and teach. But preach means then you also have to tell this is right, this is wrong, you should do this, you should not do this and all that. Then you have to preach also. Then one can do counseling also. So these are all different skills altogether. But we don't see these things. We generally tend to think that, oh, that person is famous and I'm not famous. So then our aggressive behavior in that is to criticize the other person. Correct, no? That is aggressive behavior. So, Yasman no udvijate loko, lokan no udvijate chayaha, he says. That means, by this devotee, no one is put into trouble in this world, he is saying. That means he is a very satisfied devotee. Okay, what is the devotee satisfied in? Now you all can tell me, cut, immediately I want 10 answers. And what do you consider that good devotee will consider as progress in his life, in his or her life, okay? Immediately, without thinking much. Taste in chanting the holy name. Yes, one here. We'll take back and forth. One Mataji, one Prabhuji, okay? Mataji side, one. Happy to serve all Vaishnavas. Yes, thank you. This side, yes. Enthusiasm for doing service. Enthusiastic to take up some responsibility. Okay? Hey, you don't have mic for them? One mic here, one mic there you give. Yeah. Yes, taste in studying scriptures. Yes. One has developed a taste in studying scriptures. Very good. Yes, this side. Yes, Prabhu. Desire to associate with devotees, not that one is in one's own little world like an island, like a frog in the well. One comes out of the well and then associates with other devotees also. Yes? Mic is on? Yeah.
By setting a good example in the society, by following the Vaishnava etiquettes.
Wonderful. By following Vaishnava etiquette, even Karmis will say that this devotee is a wonderful devotee, just like Jayananda Prabhu, isn't it? Such a well-behaved devotee. Okay?
Which is consistently doing something.
Consistently doing some service, consistently doing, that means you are a consistent devotee, not occasional devotee or not like a flower pot devotee. Flower pot devotee, they show a big enthu and they abscond after that. Consistent devotee means steadily you see the devotee coming. Day after day, month after month, year after year. Very good. This side. All. Yeah, please give the mic to her. Very important point she's saying. Yes. Taking complete shelter of the Lord and having faith in Lord's plan. Very important point. This also is a quality of the heart. Keeping a very firm faith in the Lord. Very good point. Yeah. Then?
When the senior devotees are happy and satisfied.
Always thinking Am I satisfying the senior devotees? Are they happy and satisfied with me? Like, for example, Lord Rama told Kaikeyi, Mother, why is father so broken down? What did you tell him? Is he upset with me? He asked. And then he told Kaikeyi that, Mother, in this world, I don't want anything other than your pleasure and father's pleasure. If it will give you pleasure by my going to jungle, I am ready to go. And I have no other aspiration, he said. So this is really a very amazing thing in spiritual life. By pleasing Guru's pleasure is my pleasure. And I don't want any post, I don't want any position, I don't want any fame. As long as my body, mind, words are aligned with Guru's will, I am happy. So this is a very beautiful spiritual understanding. Very good. One point this side. Anybody? So these are all actually very, very beautiful points which all different devotees made. Now, what are some wrong aspirations and ambitions that neophyte devotees hold in their minds, because of which they trouble themselves and they also trouble others? It's clear? Yeah. Same manner you can say, cut. Fast one this side, one that side. Yes? Yeah, I can show. Yes? And the mic, in the mic. Yes.
Not open-minded or not
Not open-minded. Why a person is not open-minded? Why? Why not open-minded?
he has his own plan, his own way.
Sometimes having our own plan and thinking that my plan is the best plan. Other people, what do they know? They're all neophytes. I know better. Thinking like that, yeah. Thank you. This side? Yeah. Mic is coming to you. Yeah. Keep it on always. Please don't switch it off. Yeah. Yes. Mic should be switched on. Please don't switch off the mic. It can be on continuously, okay? No, it's not on yet. Yeah. Yeah.
Only believing in Archa Vigraha Seva. Only.
She's saying that, thinking that the service which I do is the best service. Correct, no? No other service is good service. Other services are not so important. This service. And also she's saying that I'm doing Archa Vigraha Seva, that is good enough. I'm directly serving the Lord. I don't have to do anything else. So we also have to respect the service of others. Because different devotees do different type of small and big service, different quality of service, different type of services. And the Lord requires all type of devotees. Like you see in Jagannath Puri, Shabaras, they do one type of service. And the Pandas, they do another type of service. Somebody is putting the flag in the top. Everybody is doing different type of service. Yeah, this side? Yes?
Possessive in behavior and
very
don't want
important.
to share any credits.
Not ready to share the credits with others. Greedy for all credit should be mine. So then they push everybody behind, trying to come in the front. Everybody feels miserable. This fellow is not even recognizing what I did. Yeah, and being very possessive, that's another very dangerous quality. Possessive means like sometimes you are pitching to somebody, they become inspired by someone else. They come and tell you that I'm inspired by so-and-so, can I go to that group? Immediately you blaspheme that other group leader. You say that you don't know what are the problems with the leader. Other side of the mountain is always green. You don't know. I know everything because I have spent so many years. So don't go to that side and be with me only. And then being very possessive and I am giving you so much love. Why you want to go there? Be happy in my love. That's very dangerous quality. Possessiveness. Yes, this side?
Prabhuji, enjoying mentality,
Yeah.
and again doing the same mistake, name, fame, glory, same old story,
Ah.
carrying in spiritual life as well,
Yes.
and having material attachment.
Material attachment and enjoying spirit. Enjoying spirit is a bhoga-vritti, we call it. Anything, whether it is eating habit or in cultivating people also, if you have enjoying spirit of oneself being the hero or the heroine of all that is survey, then all the other problems like bossing mentality, everything comes from that. That's true, yeah. One last point this side, yeah.
Being judgmental and criticizing.
Being judgmental, not understanding the total picture, or not giving a benefit of doubt, not seeing from multiple angles, or not inquiring from those who may be aware. Being very boastful of one's own ability to judge others and being condescending and judgmental, very bad quality it is. So now you got an idea about how we can trouble others by our speech, our behavior, our thought process. And when we become leaders, our troubles also become magnified. Correct, no? Because you have more influence over more people. For example, one leader is very fault-finding leader and talks ill of other Matajis or Prabhujis. Then that person will tell 10 people and the 10 people will tell 10 more people and it spreads very much. And people also put faith in us, correct, no? So we suffer also because of fault-finding and others also suffer. Okay, when others trouble me, for example, yasmano udvijite loko, lokano udvichecheya, he says. That means, when others trouble, like for example, you will find Hiranyakashipu was troubling Prahalad. On the other hand, when Prahalad, you will see that Prahalad is on the second point which you are saying now. When Prahalad was troubled by Hiranyakashipu, how did he behave? He tolerated. He thought father is a superior, he should be tolerated. He tolerated. So, actually, when we are in a post or a position, the first point, one more very important point I forgot to tell you. The instructions that the seniors give to juniors has to be very realistic and measured and appropriate according to Desh Kala Patra. Otherwise, many times the juniors don't even clarify. They think the senior has told me to do something. It's like a gospel truth, I have to just follow. So, therefore, it's very important for one to be able to study the climate of others' hearts. It's called a social awareness, we call it. There are two subjects, self-management and relationship management, we call it. Self-management means what? What kind of mindset I have. And like, for example, say I am a little angry person, so I have to control my anger while dealing with others. Or I am like Mata was telling about, so I have enjoying spirit, I have to be very careful not to overeat or things like that, correct, no? It's about myself, that's called self-management. But for self-management, I should have self-observation. How many of you have done some self-observation about your thought, speech and action? You have done some self-observation? Almost, you can raise your hand. There are about 60% of the crowd. Actually, all of us have to do that. As we become preachers, we have to make an observation about what people say about my speech or my behavior. Self-observation. So we do self-observation. After that, we have to do self-management. Is that clear? Similarly, you also can have social awareness, means knowing about the people who are constituents put in your care. How many of you have observed that mothers and fathers, they do know about the nature of different children? This child of mine is very emotional. This child is very intellectual. This child is pretty confident. This child is timid. Correct? Every mother, father, they know about it because you associate with them very well. And that is called a social awareness. Social awareness means the devotees are all not of the same type. Everybody has different natures. And what is going on in their minds. For example, when Vidura returned back to home to deliver Dhritarashtra, at that time he looked at the Pandavas, but he didn't want to give them the news about Krishna and Yadav dynasty going back to Godhead. He felt pity for them, it is said. When he looked at them, he felt pity actually. These are such lovers of Krishna. If I say that Krishna has left for the spiritual world, immediately there will be a loud cry in the entire place and everybody will be rolling on the ground, weeping, beating on their chest. And it says there that he was not dukkitan akshamaha, it is said. Akshamaha means he was not having that inner strength to tolerate the dukkha that will be exhibited by the Pandavas. It is said, dukkitan akshamaha, it is said. So therefore it said, nanva priyam durvishaham, it says. Nanva priyam, I should not be a bringer of bad news. Nanva priyam, durvishaham means very dangerous news. I don't want to give them this dangerous news that Yadav dynasty is all finished, everybody is gone. So, Nanva Priyam Dhuru. And then he says that, such news will anyway come to be known through somebody. I don't want to be the carrier of bad news. Either he thought. So, do you appreciate the sensitivity of Vidura? Correct? Correct, no? So, in the same manner, if we can do social awareness, observation of other people's nature, their minds and everything, and we can tell them what is good at appropriate Desh Kala Patra. So, like if somebody has just now failed in the exam and come, they are already about to cry. You scold them for something else. They'll immediately break down. Actually, they are not crying because you scolded them. It has become added up. Correct, no? It has become added up to the already failure of the examination or something. It's like somebody is already struggling with the luggage, you put one more big suitcase on the top. It's like that, correct, no? So therefore, we have to be aware of the people's minds. So first we start observing ourselves, then we observe others around us. So now comes a point. When others trouble me, I can tolerate with wisdom. There was one doctor who gave an injection to a child, and the child slapped the doctor and kicked the doctor. And the parents were shocked. How can you do this with the doctor? And the doctor was smiling. He immediately put a chocolate in the child's mouth. Child was crying, slapping, kicking, and he ate the chocolate also. And then he left. Then the mother and father came back to doctor and said, Sir, we are very sorry. See, our son is behaving like this, a small kid. You are such an educated man, you are far in return. He said, no, don't you know, I'm a child specialist. I have handled hundreds of children like this. See, he is kicking me, slapping because he got an injection just now from me. What can I do? I have to do this thankless task. So Prabhupada says in the same manner, preacher has to be very patient. We should know that the jivas are not free from three gunas. The jivas are not free from four defects. The jivas are not yet free from the tendencies of enjoying spirit, the tendency for lording over, the tendency for competition, the tendency for envy. With all these things, the jivas are coming to ISKCON society, and we have to deal with them. So when you can have social awareness, despite their erratic behavior, still you can feel sympathy for them. That is actually called social awareness. Therefore, sometimes they may trouble us. That time we can tolerate with wisdom. So, imagine somebody tells the wrong information about you to your superiors, for example. So, you become angry right now. So, you say, hey, how did you say a wrong thing about me? He said, what to do? There is nothing wrong in you. Therefore, I have to tell. I have to tell some lie. So that, people will not give you so much love. There is one story about that, that? About the Bhagavan, Prabhupada says Bhagavan story. There was a Bhagavan Das. King loved him very much. But all the ministers were envious of him. So the king wanted to show them one day how intelligent this Bhagavan Das is. He called one of the ministers and said, do you see the tree there? Under the tree one man is standing. What's his name? Who is he? So immediately one minister went and asked, what's your name? So he told the name. He came back and told, my dear king, his name is this. Then again the king asked, which place he belongs to? He said, I'll go on and find out. Again he went and came. Why is he here in our kingdom for? Then he said, I'll find out and come back. So like that he went 10 times, he went and came. And then later on when Bhagavan Das minister came, the king told Bhagavan Das, see, there is another man standing under that tree. Can you just check and tell me who is it? So Bhagavan Das went there and spent about 10-15 minutes with him and came back and said, my dear king, that fellow belongs to neighborhood kingdom. His sister is here. He belongs to, he has come to see his sister's family. And his name is this. And there is no fear for our kingdom because neighborhood kingdom is a very friendly kingdom with us. And he is not any spy or anything. There's nothing to worry. And he told 10 information about him. And the king said, just see how intelligent he is. So he knows how to behave. So now what do you think happened to ministers after hearing this? So they gave up their envy? What do you think happened? Increased. Their envy. This is the nature of the material world. Although king did hence proved that he is very intelligent, their envy increased. Which means sometimes in this world, once envy comes, envy has a nature to grow like a fire. So one day the ministers decided that this fellow, he's become very popular with the king. We have to get rid of him. So what they did, they went and told the king, my dear king, your dear minister Bhagavan Das, he died. We are very sorry to give you the information. Of course, king cried very much. And then he took a pocket full of gold and silver and diamond and gave them. Please send it to his family members. It's a very good family. Big, very great fortune he gave. So he took it. They took it and then amongst themselves they divided. All the ministers. And then they went to the watchman and said, see, tomorrow if Bhagavan comes here, you should tell him king doesn't want to see him. Send him away. And the watchman, they told him, if you entertain him, we will cut your head off. And the watchman became very afraid. He said, definitely I will not allow him inside. And from that day on, he was never allowed to come in. And Bhagavan Das was wondering, why the king doesn't want me to come? He likes me very much. Then one day the king, along with the ministers and a lot of people, was going on a procession. On the way, the Bhagavan Das was coming on the opposite side of the road. He knew very well that the ministers are doing some conspiracy. So he thought that I will climb up a tree and then from there I will see the king so that nobody can stop me. So he climbed up a tree, and when the king was coming closer, as the procession drew closer, and the Bhagavan Das shouted, "My dear king, I am Bhagavan Das, I am here," he said. And the king was surprised. He looked at the ministers and said, "You guys said he is dead, he is alive." Then the ministers were shocked. Hey, this we never anticipated, this fellow will do like this. Because if we saw him coming, we would have sent a watchman to throw him off. But now he's climbing up the tree suddenly and doing. So one minister got an idea. He told the king, "King, that's not Bhagavan Das, that's Bhagavan Das's ghost," he said. Because generally ghost, they say it's hanging on trees. So don't even look at that ghost because it will climb on your shoulder. So better king, turn away, don't hear him. He said. Then the procession, instead of going like this, they went like this. Another direction they went. And poor Bhagavan Das couldn't meet. So, of course, this story was told by Srila Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur, but the lesson is extremely deep lesson. Here the Bhagavan Das represents Bhagavan, Krishna, and the king represents Jiva, all of us, poor Jivas. And the Jivas love Bhagavan very much. It's natural, correct, no? So it's natural love for the Lord is seen in the heart of Jivas. But who are the ministers? Bhaksan Thakur said, they are the scientists, atheists and scientists. They, atheistic people, want to keep the Jiva connected to Lord or away from the Lord? Away from the Lord. Like that he says. So they were keeping the Jiva away. So they wanted to keep Bhagavan away from the this thing. So king. So king is the poor Jiva and the ministers are atheistic scientists and Bhagavan is Bhagavan, Krishna. Correct now? So even if Bhagavan comes in one's life somehow, still these fellows will divert and take them away. Father, he tells the story. But why did I tell the story now? Anybody can say? In what context I quoted this? I quoted in the context of envy? Yeah. No, not over-ambition, old point. Now one of you made the point for which I spoke this. What is the point? Latest point who made? You can raise your hand. Who made the latest point? Yeah, what is it? About? About being judgmental, he said. About being judgmental, he said that? After that, one more point came also. Anybody remembers one more point after that? Yeah, yes? Speaking ill to seniors, correct. Actually, why I told this point, there is X devotee, Y devotee. See, Y has no problem. But X has problem with Y. Y has no problem. But X is having problem with Y. Why? Anybody can say? See, Y is doing very well, blissful. But X is having problem with Y. Envy. That's the only reason. Then the X may go and say something about Y which is not right. Correct, no? Which may be cooked up story. Just like the story, Bhagavan, the ministers were saying cooked up thing to the king. Correct, no? Further I quoted this story. Correct, no? So when others trouble us, we need the paripakvata, maturity, by doing social awareness of the hearts of other people. Who is who? Like for example, we love a tiger also, but we don't go and embrace the tiger. Correct? Now you know that everybody knows Pandita Samadarshana. You can do Pandita Samadarshana from a treetop. You can't go and embrace a tiger. So we know that. Then that is why that Ishwareta Tadineshu Balisheshu Dvishachya Prema Maitri Kripopeksha Yakkaroti Sa Madhyamaha. Madhyamadhikari stage, we know 4 types of things. One should give love, pure love to Krishna and friendliness with the devotees and keep a distance away from envious. And 4th one, to the innocent and non-blasphemous, we should give association or we should show mercy to them. Innocent and non-blasphemous. So, In this way, we can actually. I have written here, tolerate with wisdom. See, you can tolerate with wisdom like this. I'll just show you. See here, there are some 8 situations. I said, somebody can read it.
When others are a problem, don't react, otherwise more trouble will happen. If I am the problem, then there are many people who are already tolerating us, so we should tolerate others. When the situation is the problem, we should voluntarily tolerate.
Like a pregnant woman, she only has to beget the child. Then nobody else can volunteer to beget the child. She has to beget herself. So tolerate it, yeah. Yeah.
For ghost haunted jivas, under the 3 modes.
Then Jalabharta is telling Rahugana, the jivas are like ghost haunted because they are haunted by the 3 gunas. So you have sympathy for them, he says, yeah.
The relationship should be saved.
Yeah, which is important for you. You are proving I am right, you are wrong is important, or relationship is important. So this is a well-known thing. Many devotees know. So to save relationship, many people are willing to bend. Right? Yeah.
Prerequisite is what to or not to tolerate.
We should know when to tolerate, when not to tolerate. Pandavas are ready to tolerate and not fight the battle. But who told them not to tolerate? Krishna. So, therefore the battle happened. Now, Dhruva was not ready to tolerate. He wanted to fight the battle with Yakshas. But what did Swayambhava tell him? He told him to go ahead, fight. He told her, don't fight. Yeah. See, Arjuna didn't want to fight, he was told to fight. And Dhruva wanted to fight, he was told to stop to fight. Therefore, we should know when to do what. That means when to tolerate. Dhruva has to tolerate. And Arjuna should tolerate or not tolerate? Not tolerate. So we should know that, yeah. Next.
Cultivating knowledge under superior guidance.
Yeah. Actually, we can tolerate with wisdom and we take guidance from superiors. Why in this particular situation we should tolerate? Actually, for example, somebody may say that I really get fed up with this devotee. But you will see that this devotee every day doesn't do erratically things. But they sometimes, we call it as a circumstantial behavior, we call it. You know what is circumstantial behavior? Is it daily or is it occasionally? Occasionally. Like Sugriva is a good soul exhibiting, metal attachment, which is actually called as circumstantial behavior, occasional behavior. Therefore, Lord Ram had all love for him actually. He thought of him very compassionately. And he told Lakshman, don't kill him, but bring him to senses and bring him here, he said. So we can also see the people in this world, other people as showing circumstantial, occasional behavior. Recently, His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj was telling that jivas by nature are good only. Most of the jivas by nature are very good. Why? Because there is a nature of jiva to strive for perfection materially and spiritually. Like for example, companies also have this ppm, they say, you know that? 500 parts per million or 2000 parts per million. So they want to increase the ppm or reduce? Anybody knows this? Like out of 10,000, out of 1 million parts, say 2,000 parts are defective. Correct, no? So they want to reduce the defective parts or increase defective parts? That means they want, therefore they have quality control. What is the meaning of quality control? Quality control is there in order to reduce that imperfection. Which means even materially, human being has a tendency to strive for perfection. What to speak of spiritual life? Every devotee is striving for perfection. They may slip and fall. Therefore, we can be sympathetic to them. That's the whole point.
Associate with tolerant devotees who are equal.
Yeah, associate with tolerant devotees. Like I was remembering, my spiritual master was sitting in the car. The one driver was driving. one devotee was driving. And he was driving very rashly, very fast. Maharaj was chanting and looked at him and said, Hari, Hari, he said. Then immediately he may reduce the speed. So I was wondering how he understood. Maharaj just looking at him with big eyes and saying, Hari Hari was enough for that fellow. He immediately understood. So I used to observe how the great souls tackle the situation. Another time Maharaj was sitting in the car. So that devotee was thinking that outside is very hot. So he put the AC fully on, So it was chill inside the car. So I was thinking, I am feeling very chill. If Maharaj finds it all right, it's because he was sitting in the front. And Maharaj could have told him that, hey, AC is chill, too chill, you have put, reduce it. Maharaj didn't say that. And Maharaj was actually asking us, do you feel it little extra chill? And we said, yes, Maharaj. And then that fellow immediately switched it off. Put it off immediately. And Maharaj knew that the jivas in the conditioned stage, they have a tendency to go for extremes. Then what Maharaj said, this you can leave this control of AC to me, to himself, he said, because I like to control others. He said, and then he was turning, like this he was turning. I was just laughing. Actually, do you think Maharaj likes to control others? Never. He's an emotional genius. He is known for giving freedom to devotees. But why did he say like that? Can anybody say? Actually, he did not know exactly how to control that. He is going to extreme. Either he's putting fully this side or he's putting fully switch off. So Maharaj understood this fellow cannot be helpful. But if you tell him that, hey, bottom of you are, you are going to the extremes, then you'll get hurt. So Maharaj said, I like to control. So you leave this control to me, I will do that, he said. So very amazing. So actually why I'm telling you this, the great souls on one hand know how to tolerate, on the other hand know how to make things comfortable for themselves without irritating others or criticizing others. That's the point. And Maharaj took a temperature which was comfortable for him. After that, without having to scold him. Because Maharaj, even if I scold him, he may not know exactly which one to keep. So, another time somebody came to his holiness, Chandramani Maharaj, and said, Maharaj, you are talking about New Vrindavan. No, that devotee Maharaj, he is a very harsh devotee, he said. He is a very aggressive devotee. Maharaj said, no, Prabhu, don't say that. He is a Kshatriya devotee, he said. So, then immediately understood. Kshatriya devotee means he is little forceful, but ultimately is forceful for Krishna's pleasure. Either he told him. So, actually these are all, when you cultivate knowledge under superior guidance, you learn these things. How they deal with situations, you see. Last one?
Associate with tolerant devotees who are equal.
Yeah. Actually, if you can always get tolerant devotees, how nice it will be to work with. But you may not get always. Actually, if you associate tolerant devotees, for you to tolerate is easy. Why? Why? They will tolerate us. Even if we go out of bounds, they will tolerate us. Therefore, it's very easy. So, these are the first 2 points. When I trouble others, I am aggressive. And when others trouble me, I can tolerate with wisdom. Now, the rest of it, I will leave it to you to think. Just read the statements.
When situations trouble me, I take shelter of Lord.
Yeah, and we have examples. Like Ambarish Maharaj, as soon as there was a trouble, he just closed his eyes, folded the palms and remembered the Lord when situations trouble us. What is that verse? Tattenu kampam, sutamikshamano, punjana evatmakratam vipakam, hrid vak vapurbir vidadan namaste, jivet yo mukti sadev pade sadaya bhak, he says. So he says that this is a very, very famous verse. This talks about who is a rightful heir for attracting Lord's mercy. So, based on this, I had given one acronym. You have seen this one? See this one? Great devotee for good chanting. You want to know who is a great devotee? See, one who has gratitude. Who can tell me, where is this word gratitude in this verse? Tattenu kampam. Anybody can tell me? He is offering namaskar. Hrit vak vapabri vidadan namaste. Correct, no? So he is gratefully offering obeisances. Correct, no? No. That's not gratitude. Tatte anukampam. seeing the situation as sent by the Lord mercifully. Like Parikshit Maharaj saying, I think I was attached to my family, so Lord wanted to separate me from this attachment and take me back to Godhead. So he saw the Shringi's curse as a anukampa of the Lord. Correct, no? So that is gratitude. What's the second one? Repentance. Where is the repentance? In this verse, where is the repentance? Tatya anukampam. Yes? Anybody? Yeah, that is atmakritam vipakam. That is actually taking responsibility. Repentance comes where? In this. Tatte anukampam sasamikshamaano bhunjana eva atmakritam. The bhunjana means I am ready to undergo the punishment for what mistake I have done. That's where the repentance comes. Correct, no? Did Parikshit say that, my dear Lord, I am praying to you, please kindly take away the punishment? Did he say that? What he said? May the Brahma shop fall upon me and not on any of my family members or my, the people like that, he said. So he was willing to take, he was actually repentant for his, repentance comes in the heart of a good soul, he says. And then expectation, where is the expectation? Oh, sorry. Susamikshamano. Ikshamano means what? Iksha means what? To see, when will the Lord's mercy come in my life? Asha Bandha. That is Ikshamana. And then agree is what? Agreeing with the plan of the Lord. Atma Kritam Vipakam means agreeing that the problem is coming to me because of my own misdeed. Correct, no? That's agreeing. And tolerating is what in this verse? Tatte anukampam sasamikshamana bunjana eva atma kritam vipakam hrit vak vapurvi vididan namaste. One must tolerate. Actually, I have a PPT on this. I'm going to share it with Mukundanand Prabhu, who will share it with others. Okay, Mukundanand Prabhu? So you don't have to worry about remembering this. I will send you the PPT. So, yeah, when situations trouble me, I can take shelter of the Lord. Next one.
When I align with God and nature, my body, mind, soul can be healthy.
Yeah, we have to align with God and nature. Actually, people are going, Prabhupada taught us 4 regulative principles from the Bhagavatam, because of which you can see, Prabhupada says 50% problems are solved by this. Simply following the regulative principles. And also align with Lord's will. Then we don't do this manashashtani indriyani prakritistani karshati. The fight against our senses and nature and mind is mainly because of misalignment or malalignment with Lord's wish. Actually, one thing in the scripture you will find a repeating theme. The most important theme he asked once, our His Grace Burijan Prabhu, when he came to Pune. He asked, all of you brahmacharis, tell me, which is one quality for learning which you have come to ashram? He asked. The devotee said many things. Respect, he said. Respect is important. That's not what I am looking for, he said. Humility, he said. Humility is good. He said. Tolerance, that is also very nice, he said. Not this. Then people said kindness, courteousness, cooperation, so many things they said. Almost 30 qualities came out. None of it he accepted. We were wondering what else is left now. Then we all told him, Prabhu, you only tell. Then he only told the answer, obedience, he said. You have come to learn only one quality. He said, if you have obedience, all good qualities will come. If you don't have obedience, no good quality will come, he said. And then he proved it. He said, what is the end of Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna, what did he say? Karishe vachanam mama tava, what he said? Tava. That is obedience. What did Priyavrat do after hearing from Swayambhava Manu and Narada and Lord Brahma? What did he do? He obeyed. Correct? Now, what did Prithu Maharaj do in the episode of Prithu and Indra and the 99 sacrifices? What did Prithu do? He accepted what was told to him. He obeyed. What did Dhruva Maharaj do while fighting with the Yakshas? At the end, what is the climax of the pastime? He agreed to obey. He said, I will give up. I will not fight now. So Arjuna agreed to fight who didn't want to fight before. Dhruva wanted to fight. He was told not to fight. He was agreeable not to fight. You will see that. Priyavrat never wanted to marry, but he was agreeable to marriage when Brahmaji told him. So the scriptures are all about obedience to the will of the Lord. If we come to the point of softening our heart to the point of obeying to the will of Hari Guru Vaishnavas, we are very blessed. It's a very blessed consciousness. Next, fifth one.
When I know the line between necessity and luxury and stick to necessity, I can be free from burning greed.
Yeah. Oh, this is a very, like children also, if you see, for example, when you give them pocket money, some children put up parties. Sometimes they, lavishly spend for the dresses. Sometimes they buy the cinema magazines. Sometimes they go for movies, spend so much money. Many of the modern day children, they don't know how to utilize the money. They spend very lavishly, extravagantly. Now it's not only about children. After marriage also, if husband and wife, if they don't know to save the money well, some people's hands are always having hole. Any money you put, it goes out. Some people. Like one mother was telling, Prabhu, I take away all the money from my husband and I am the financial controller. And she told the reason, she said, that's because this fellow's hands are having holes always. Any money you give him, he's expert in finishing money. I am expert in saving money. So in a family, at least one of the two should be like that. How many of your family, at least one is like that, at least one of the two spouses? Wonderful. There are about 10 of them are confident. I didn't say you are the saver. I didn't say. I said, that means it can also be wife or it can also be husband. Isn't it? So, therefore, we should know to draw the line between necessity and luxury. See, spending is easy, saving is difficult. It's like coming down the staircase is easy, or climbing up is easy? Coming down. So, climbing down is like spending money. Going up is like climbing the staircase. So, we have to learn to save. And for that, we need to know what is necessity and keep it to minimum. Of course, spiritually, we become more and more advanced. The necessities reduce or increase? Reduces. When the soul starts delighting blissfully in Krishna consciousness, then our necessities very much reduce. Material necessities reduce. Next point.
When I possess love and emit love, I can be endearing.
Yeah, the Pandavas are like that. The Praja, even though 12 years had passed, 12 plus 1, 13 years had passed, the Pandavas came back. The Praja was yearning to see Yudhishthir Maharaj become the king. Because it's the behavior and the character and the culture and the devotion of the Pandavas was so endearing to the heart of the people. They knew that these people, headed by Yudhishthir Maharaj, they walk the path of truth. And they are strictly aligned with Krishna, who is the father of all religious principles. So Duryodhana, what he had done when Pandavas were in the forest, towards the end of the Ajnatavas period, he had given a lot of gifts to the people. He had given free ration rice, free wheat. You get free clothes for Diwali clothes and New Year clothes. He had given a lot of things like that. Why did he do that? Do you know that? Because he thought when the Pandavas come from the forest, the people should say, sorry sir, we don't want you guys. We want who to rule? Duryodhana to rule. But despite such pampering, people wanted Pandavas to rule. Because they knew that Duryodhana is doing a drama. Because once a person has been a cheater, lacking integrity, no matter how much natak he does, people won't develop trust very easily. So, therefore, one should truly possess love for God and love for all. And one can be a love emitter and can be very endearing. So, actually, all these habits change is actually made possible by offenseless chanting. Offenseless chanting is a very difficult thing, but it is not an impossible thing. So one has to make everybody, every day's chanting very, as far as possible, as attentive and as focused, as absorbing. And of course, then in conclusion, I want to say 4-5 points. Only the main point I'll tell you. So in case I have some habits I want to change, where does the hope come from? The desire to change and the hope to change. Where does it come from? Anybody? The desire to change and the hope to change. Like some people, they have a bad habit and they don't want to change. They say that, I cannot change. This is what I am. They say like that. I am like this, don't ask me. That means they have lost the hope to change. How can a hopeless person get hope to change? Anybody? Can you give the mic to them? Somebody's hand was up. Yes. Ajit Mapriya.
Hare Krishna. So, by hearing inspiring stories about devotees who have managed to change their habits, and also associating with those who inspire us in that way.
Perfect. Exactly, I was looking for these two answers. Actually, we should hear real life stories of people who have had this habit and who have come out of the habit. And also, we should associate with people who are very advanced in this good habit. Like some of you have a habit of sleeping late. Say you want to sleep early. You need to connect with those who have a habit of sleeping early. Then you will see that you will also pick up that good habit like that. Thank you. That is about the this thing, desire. Desire and the hope. So another thing that's required to change is the discrimination, to know what is a good habit, what is a bad habit. For example, some people are luxuriously living their life and they don't know it is bad. They say that, after all, life is meant for enjoyment. That's a wrong paradigm. Actually, in the name of enjoyment, they are extravagant and they won't save for the future, and they are actually making the life more difficult. So to get the right paradigm, where will you get the right paradigms? For that, you need discrimination. Where do you get the discrimination from? Yes, Maji? Shastra, correct. By studying the Shastra, you come to understand what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is beneficial, what is harmful, what is necessity, what is luxury, how much is too much, how less is too less. You get all these things. So that's correct, yeah. That is about discrimination. So first one I told you is desire, then second is discrimination, and third D is determination. Okay, now you know what is right. So where do you get the determination to do the right thing? Because you need the determination to choose the right habit, correct, no? This is wrong habit, the right habit. So how will you have that willpower and determination to choose the right habit? Where does that come from? She is associating with those having determination, and that's true for everything. Association is actually true. I want to be humble, associate with those who are humble. I want to be tolerant, associate with those who are. That's also true. But apart from association, is there anything specific you can do to build your determination? Anybody? Yeah? Okay, by trying a little and seeing how it goes, you are very close to answer, yeah. Yes?
Sincere prayers.
Sincere prayers. Very good. Prayer is the difference between your ability and God's ability, it is said. Very good. That's also good. You can pray also. But praying alone is not enough. God will say, you haven't done any homework. You're only praying to me. God will say like that. You are simply praying to me. What have you done? He will ask you.
Trying.
Yes? You have answered. No? Yes, yeah. Reading scriptures tells you the right map. It tells you what is right. But after knowing the right thing, how will you develop the determination to stick to the right behavior? Anybody? She's saying good sadhana. Very good. Yes? Okay. Those are good at it. Okay. She's saying investing time and love in those devotees who are. Yeah. So, that is also correct. Actually, affection to those who have this good habit will also bring the good habit to you. What she said is correct. That's what Mataji also said about association. She said also. That's correct. One good thing you said was about sadhana, you said. Actually, chanting produces determination. Chanting Hare Krishna. That's sadhana produces determination. How? I'll tell you. How many of you remember in your very early days, when you started one round, even one round was difficult for you? How many of you remember? Correct, no? When will that orange thing come? It's going on and on. Looks like an endless chain. Used to feel like that. But gradually it would come. After finishing one round, you would keep it on the, you just lie down like this. But now you chant 16 rounds, that means your determination has increased. Prabhupada says a devotee of the Lord can sit down in one place and chant all 16 rounds. But materialist, half an hour also he cannot sit, he has to smoke a cigarette, like the Prabhupada says. No austerity. Chanting rounds builds determination. There's one way to build determination. There's another way. Make a sankalpa and fulfill that sankalpa. For example, say that I will climb the Tirupati hill today and I will not take any car. So 5 boys were going to Tirupati hill, 5 of us students. One boy was very fat. He was having obesity problem. So everybody laughed at him in the beginning. They said, hey, you cannot climb. We are going to climb, you cannot climb. He said, no, I'm going to make it. So they went almost 1/3, they climbed, and this fellow was breathing heavily, he was having difficulty. So one car came and they said, we have place for one person, would you like to come? Immediately this fellow boarded the car behind. Everybody said, see, I told you, you will not climb up. He said, what to do, Balaji felt pity on me and he sent a car for me. Therefore I boarded, he said. That means his determination was strong or weak? Weak. Sometimes we make a plan and we don't stick to the plan. If you make a plan and stick to the plan, your determination increases. That's why kings used to go to the forest and sit down and do meditation, chanting, studying scriptures in a very focused way, and they will build the determination. So chanting is like making milk into butter. That is chanting. See, when you add water to milk, it becomes diluted. When you put butter in water, does it get diluted? It doesn't get diluted. So we become very strong by chanting Hare Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna very attentively and offenselessly makes our determination very stout and very strong, and making a sankalpa and fulfilling it. So one important thing is accountability also builds our strength over a period of time. For example, you all are accountable as preachers. You have some senior to whom you are accountable for your sadhana, accountable for your preaching and everything. You also have fear that I have to submit some report every 3 months or something, every 6 months or like that. Like I am a GTO in America, Global Duty Officer to go to the West. I have a GBC authority to whom I have to report every 3 months. I have to prepare a report with pictures and write-up and captions and everything. So I prepare that. Vanamali Pandit Prabhu is our ISKCON Boston Temple President. Prabhu, you can stand up in your place. Vanamali Pandit Prabhu. Yeah. You can come here, Prabhu, 1 minute. I just want to introduce you, and your son Gopal also can bring. Where's your good wife? She's also there. Mataji? She's here? Mataji is there, yeah. So, Vanamali Pandit Prabhu was here only. Mataji, you belong to Amaravati, which place? Kunjiberi temple, correct. She is from Konkan area and she came to Krishna consciousness in Kunjiberi temple. She was practicing. And Vanamali Pandit Prabhu, you are here in which year? You are in Pune? 2002 or 2003 he was here in Pune. Prabhu has come to temple, he has gone to Magarpata and other places. He knows devotees. And he went to America. In America he has been for almost 18 years now, Prabhu. 18 years. One amazing thing he did when he went to America, he preached in one place in Connecticut. He had a very good congregation. And the GBCs in Boston saw that this person is a very hard-working preacher, making a big community here. They said, instead of Connecticut, why didn't you come to Boston and take up the presidentship? They asked him. And he agreed. And he became president of the Boston, and his good wife and their small son, Gopal. He's a very smart boy. Gopal, if you talk to him, you will know how smart he is. So he can give a half an hour lecture if you tell him. Very intelligent. And the beauty is this couple lives in the temple in one small room in Boston temple. There's a small room. In that only they're living. They made temple only their home. And he's working in IT company. IT company is how anytime calls. Actually, he can be attending to IT call at the same time doing some service also in the temple. And he is so smart. Along with his company job, he's also doing the temple presidentship. So they are in Pune for a couple of more days, 2-3 more days you are here, bro. They are here till January 19th. And they are going to Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, and one more place. Tirupati, Tirupati. They are going. I have just sent a mail today to 5-6 couples in Pune, counselors. They might have got by now, I think. You got the mail, Prabhu? I have sent you. I have sent you a mail. I have sent to 5-6 counselors also. So you can connect with them and meet them. So I want to introduce Vanamali Prabhu and his good wife and son. Let's welcome them to Radheshyamdas temple. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol. So for me, when I go to Boston, he is my authority in Boston. So he takes me to Boston, then arranges programs in MIT and Northeastern University and many other programs. I started with Boston. I go to other places also. But my spiritual master and His Holiness Naranjan Swami and Radhanath Swami Maharaj, both of them wanted me to do keep the Boston as the base. So he's really very hardworking there. Very nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yes? Take this. Give him the mic. Switch on the mic. We can give one chair on which he can stand up and speak. Everybody can see him. Gopal can stand up. Stand up on that. Yeah. All devotees can see you. And stand. Yeah, like that. That's a podium for you.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to you and your amazing services. Please come to ISKCON Boston and also encourage your counselees to come to ISKCON Boston. In Massachusetts state, we have 3 Ivy League colleges, Harvard, Brown, and Dartmouth. Harvard is the top Ivy League college, and is just across the river from Boston. That river is like Yamuna River, and Srila Prabhupada is like a representative of Krishna. He first landed in Boston, and Srila Prabhupada did many pastimes there. There is one technical school. Technical school is the top technical school. It's MIT. Please come to ISKCON. Please come to ISKCON Boston. And we are a very homely temple, and we have a very nice bonding, and you'll never forget.
And who are the presiding deities there?
The presiding deities there are Shri Shri Radha Gopi Vallabha. And there's so much bonding, there's so much friendly bonding that you'll forget about missing India. And please also come to Boston, because if you want to spend more time with Radheshyam Pro, he comes 2 months in a year. He comes 2 months in a year to Boston. He visits Boston 2 times, each time 1 month or 15 days. So please come to Boston. Also, Srila Prabhupada in one of his lectures said that that there should be youth preaching in Boston. So please come and help us in this service.
Haribol.
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 We're also grateful to Radheshyam Prabhu and Sri Gopal Pran Prabhu. Haribol.
Haribol. Now you can see how his father is running a temple. You can see that. Like parents, like son now. So, very brilliant boys, I told you. So, actually, Banamari Pandit Prabhu and his good wife, they were saying that if any of the couples in Pune, they can come to Boston for 2 months or 3 months in a year and help in congregation development there. They'll be very happy. So, they have been asking me before. I said, after our couples cross the age of 50, I said, then many of them are going to take VRS. And they are ready to become international traveling preachers. I said, so we will keep your request as a top priority. That's what I have told. So I have put a word in your ears, and Vanamar Pandit Prabhu and his wife are single-handedly running the temple there. And on Sundays they get about 150-200 people come, but they want someone to train some of the leaders in counseling, how to do counseling, how to do caring for the families. People are coming. It's a very old temple, since Prabhupada's times. Many of the old devotees are also there in congregation. So thank you very much. I exceeded my time given to me by Mukundanand Prabhu. I'm sorry for the delay. Now we will proceed with the regular program. Yeah, please go ahead, Mukundanand. What we discussed today, was it helpful or not? What do you think? Sure? Or is it boring or interesting? Interesting? Okay, thank you. Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna. So let us thank His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. Before that, any questions?
Danath Project. You mentioned about like many qualities, determination, or for that matter, look for the association who have that quality. But somehow, if we don't know who has that qualities, so should we openly?
So therefore, what we do in our Brahmacharya ashram here, On birthdays, we put all the brahmacharis, about 10 or 12 of them, who are born in that month. And we give them a garland also. And 3 or 4 devotees will speak some incidents or encounters they had with those brahmacharis. And they will be such amazing, humorous incidents, many times, funny incidents and all they will share. Or some of them are very heart-rending, heart-wrenching moments also they had. Like, for example, it's like wrenching, which means it will put you to tears also. How tolerant this brahmachari was, how patient he was, and things like that. So when they bring out, those are the best programs, because each of them you get 3 into 10, about 30 incidents you hear that day. And many of the devotees say, we never knew about this devotee, he is like this. We come to know that. Then our affection and respect for the devotee increases. Similarly, some of them are very good in notes making. Some of them are very good in PPT preparation. Some of them are very good in cooking, like that, different devotees. So every month, if you keep knowing about 10 devotees like that, then you know the whole ashram. Correct, no? In the same manner, in counselors group meeting also, if you have some session where you split the groups into, say, five devotees, like that, and tell them that what is one quality you appreciate in others. And this group should be formed spontaneously, not by any organization. It's called grapevine, we call it. Grapevine means you put a group of people, like if for example, if all of you are allowed to form groups on your own, I know you all will have preferences whom to group with. You agree? And that's called grapevine, we call it. So make grapevine groups like that and ask them, each one should speak about one good quality of one person in that group. And after doing that, each one should say that I am working on one quality for which I need help from all of you. So each of you can give some inputs and I will note down. And after those groups are over, call everybody together and on the stage give chairs to them. Each group should select 2 best performers in the group, which means one person whose qualities are appreciated with very nice incidents which everybody liked. So that should be one. Another one is one person who got various inputs from different people. Say, I want to become a humble devotee. 4 fellows gave me tips on humility, how I can become humble. So I have noted down. If that is the thing which came out best, then each group will present 2. So if we have total of, say, 6 groups, that means 600 to 12. So they will present it and everybody will come to hear the best things like that. So now through these kind of programs help us to get to know devotees, intergroup activities when we do, that helps us to know about devotees better. You get an idea. Actually, this one activity I am telling, there are many things like this we can do when we, like for example, we should not conduct a Vyas Puja for some devotee, but if there is say for example, once in 3 months in a counselor meeting, those who have birthday can be put together. Some devotees can narrate something which they know about. Everybody cannot know about everybody. It's not possible. But every one of you here, how many of you here know about some devotees very well? You all know. Correct, no? Those devotees only should speak. And that will be a very interesting meeting. It can be a part of the meeting. That's how we come to know. Once we know the glories of the devotees, then our heart will be flooded with fond remembrances of the good qualities. And that's how we can respect them, appreciate them also. Another thing also we read in the temple, like every department will give a presentation to all the brahmacharis, what they are doing. Brahmacharis are like stunned, flabbergasted. They said, hey, we never knew that in this department so much is going on. Like kitchen department presented, Jivadaya department presented. Inside the department, what is happening? They had videos, they had active. So in this way, the more you know about each devotee, your respect, affection for the devotee increases also. Otherwise, what happens? You just come to the class, you hear something from Bhagavatam and you go back. Everybody looks at each other, but you don't know who they are. To bring out the substance of individuals, we have to have such kind of activities. And in camps and all, you can do this. Correct, no? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, because sometimes it so happens that we have some particular conditionings and we know the solution. We know all these things that you talked about, right? And we also develop a plan also. But then it so happens that because those conditionings are so strong that at times they again in that moment.
Overpower.
Yeah, in that moment, you know very well that this is not good thing to do. But
3 things you should do for that. One is, don't take giant leap. Don't take giantly. For example, if you have to eat a watermelon, either you cannot eat like that. What do? You cut the watermelon into pieces. So by cutting it to pieces, one piece if you eat, you can even finish 2, 3 also. But one eating like this is difficult. You can't swallow it like a small fruit, So therefore, task is very big. Conditionings are strong. Then we make little steps. Say if somebody is sleeping at 12 every day. Don't try to jump to 10 o'clock. From 12, this coming 1 month, 11:45. And the next month, 11:30, like that. That is one thing you can do. Second thing, you should have a role model devotee whom you admire. And you should meet the role model devotee and observe the devotee and also learn from the devotee also. And thirdly, you need peers who are also agreeing with you to stick to this good habit. And regularly having connections with the peers. Tumhara kaise chal raha hai? Are you able to do it well? I could do this much. How are you doing? Like, study of Shastra, chanting japa, things like that. So, peer association, role model, and cutting into slices. These 3 things, if you do, any big habit can be cultivated easily. Yeah.
Prabhuji, when you're speaking about over ambition, you spoke about reasonable and unreasonable expectations.
Correct.
Now, this could be like applied on self and also people who are with us, right?
Yes, correct.
So, in that sense, how do we know what is reasonable and unreasonable? Because what may be reasonable for me may not be unreasonable for some other person.
Yeah.
So, how should we decide there?
Actually, we will always say that my expectations are all reasonable, and others' expectations are all. This is the way we judge. Correct now when it comes. Like once our teacher told us to write all the qualities that we look for in a friend. So we wrote 20 qualities. Later on, madam told us that don't give it the paper to me. Now you round up what qualities you possess. That time we realized we only have 4 or 5 of them. She said, you have 5 qualities and you want 20 qualities from them. So your expectation is unreasonable. She proved to us that our expectation was unreasonable. Correct now? So therefore, what is reasonable and unreasonable is said in the Shastra itself. One example I tell you. Santosha trishu kartavyo sudare bhojane dane trishu chaivana kartavyo swadhyaya japadanayoho. He's saying, Chanakya is saying, 3 things you should be satisfied with. He's saying, swadare bhojane dane. One should be happy with one's wife. One's wife may be not so good looking, but she is a gunavati. Some other woman may be very good to look at, but she has no character. So therefore, one should be satisfied with what is ordained by God for you, as your wife, for example. That's Swadare. Bhojane means one should eat food cooked at home and offered to Lord, and one should not eat out in hotel. Because in hotel, they produce for commercial purposes. That will spoil your health. And dhane means whatever money you have in your pocket, that much only you should spend. Don't take credit card, don't take loan. That's what he says. So these 3 you should be satisfied with, he says. And 3 things you should not be satisfied with. What is it? Swadhyaya, study of Shastra. Japa, chanting Hare Krishna. And Danayoho, giving charity. Don't be afraid that if I give charity, I'll become bondi or something. Don't think like that. If you give charity, Krishna will send you more. Like that he says. So in this way, if you study the Shastra, you come to know what should be satisfied, what should not be satisfied. Correct, no? Is it clear? Actually, I'm just telling you some example, but regular study of Shastra gives you a clear-cut picture. When am I becoming extravagant? Like atyahara, prayasa, prajalpanya, magraha. Those things. So when you study, then NOI, if you study in detail, first 3 verses will tell you all these things. Now we can proceed with further. I have a US lecture also, for which I am semi-prepared with PPT. I am not yet done. It starts, I believe, at 6 o'clock it starts, but I will need about 45 minutes for that also. 20%. Yes, I want. Yeah.
Bro, one question. One last question.
Prabhupada ki. Yeah, okay. Where is it?
Prabhuji, one last question.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. Thank you, bro, for mesmerizing us from your wonderful lecture. Every time I hear your lecture, bro, I feel I have so lot things to do in Krishna consciousness. And one more thing, Prabhu, just wanted to add that every time I feel bored in Krishna consciousness, I will go and hear your lecture. Then I will get some zeal to do some seva. So just one question, Prabhuji, just with your permission. Actually, Prabhu,
There is one lecture, if you just put in YouTube, attitude, thinking, behavior. and Radheshyamdas, you put attitude, thinking, behavior. That lecture gives very, very easy to apply ways to change habits, self-change. Attitude, thinking, behavior. These three things, how we can bring about a change. That's about habit change only. I didn't speak on that today. There was no time. That's a good lecture. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu.
Yeah, bro. So my question is, Prabhu, I mean, Pune is very cosmopolitan in nature, wherein we have different Maharaj and disciples also. And then usually if you go in other preaching center, there are only one Shatrap. Here we have many Shatraps, and then Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, and various conflicting instructions are there. And then handling people with different mood, wherein, I mean, they are not on the same platform, they have different desires, as you rightly mentioned in the class. So in such kind of atmosphere, how to handle devotees, what is the proper way to tolerate, or what is the best way to make ourselves, in such a mode that okay, we should not offend the other devotee also, and we should also make sure the service is being done. So how to do that, Prabhu?
Yeah. Actually, although people may be emphasizing on different things, somebody is emphasizing on book distribution, somebody is emphasizing on fundraising, somebody is emphasizing on deity worship services, somebody is emphasizing on preaching, somebody is emphasizing on family care, different people emphasize on different things. So within a counselor group, when you are attending the meetings and all, your counselor has some expectations from you. Correct, no? Your counselor. So note down those expectations. Then hear your spiritual master's lectures. He has some expectations from you. Write down those expectations. Then in the local temple president and leaders, they have some expectations. Like yearly Janmashtami, you have to collect funds. And yearly book marathon, you have to distribute books. These two are very important. So you can write down those expectations. And your wife and children also have some expectations from you. Correct, no? That also you can write down. Then a group which is given to you for services. Over a period of time, you know what type of people they are. They will do service, but they all come with some expectations. So then you write down those expectations. So that's what I did in my life. I will write down all the expectations, and after that I will go through them and see which of them are easy for me to implement. So the easier ones can be low-hanging fruits, we say, no? That can be tick-marked. You start fulfilling, and that will give them satisfaction also to each of the parties, like that. And some of them are little difficult, some of them are more difficult. So you can red highlight them, or some of them are impossible also, like that. So in this way, when you do some kind of soul searching in your own diary, you do that, this kind of thing. That's immensely helpful. I found it very helpful. Like when I came to Pune as a president in 97, I was wondering, there are multiple gurus here, and disciples have different focus. So I did one intelligent thing. I went to Paramahansa Gopaksha Maharaj and asked, what do you want your disciples to do? And he said, I want them to come every Sunday. I want them to distribute Prabhupada books, profusely. And especially my leaders in my custody, I want them to take responsibility in the temple. And I don't want them to idle. And I want them to regularly, and I also, those who are initiated, I want them to be protected. So he gave this kind of instructions clearly. Then I called all the disciples and I told them, these are things Maharaj just told me to tell all of you. So then their faith in me naturally will increase, because I'm just repeating what the Guru has told. Same thing I did with Lokanath Swami's group also. And with the Radheshyam Swami's group, Maharaj's instructions are very simple. When I asked Maharaj, he said, you just be happy, that's all I want from you. He said, I said, Maharaj, I'll be happy, but what do you want your disciples to do? He said, tell everybody they should be happy in Krishna consciousness. What is happy? He said, it's not very easy to be happy, he said. Everybody has problems. You have to be humble, a blade of grass. So that became very easy for me. Maharaj said, I have given all my instructions in my lectures. So in this way, and in my talks also, I keep emphasizing. And I know very well Prabhupada what he emphasized. Because I regularly hear Prabhupada lectures, 4-5 lectures a day I hear. In the morning, right from the time I get up. So these are the things I have been emphasizing and speaking. See, we don't have to tell people that I am telling you do this. People say, who are you? They will ask you. If you say, your Guru Maharaj is telling you to do this, Prabhupada is telling us to do this, please do it. Then they will do it. All right?
Makes sense, bro. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So Prabhupada ki jai.